That's just crazy broken level 6 druid. Without using any spell slots of level 6, we can cast concentration spells 2 times every turn, and we can't break our concentration. Our concentration is basically can't be broken. It just can't be broken. It's insane. So in the end, we got 16 strength, 18 dexterity, 23 constitution, 12 intelligence, 20 wisdom, 14 charisma, resistance to all types of damage. So we're doing like 1d8 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 to 4 plus 2, and we're doing additional 1d6 in necrotic and additional 1d4 from fungal attack. And all of this with your nice mushroom zombie army. Isn't that broken? So, hail and match adventures, welcome to the world of Baldur's Gate 3. It's me, the Spot King, and let's build our character first. Race of choice could be any, actually. Pick whatever race you like. Dwarf with extra HP will be nice pick, but I picked half-elf, especially wood half-elf, for extra movement speed. And when you want to create best Spore Druid, you don't need to create Spore Druid at first. So let me explain. When you pick in your first class, there's a difference between first class and your multi-class. For example, if we go with Druid, we will get this light armor, medium armor, and shield proficiency. So most of Druid builds will go with high dexterity, high wisdom, and most common multi-class option will be Monk, because Monk will get this unarmored defense proficiency, so with high wisdom, high dexterity, with ability to get flurry of blows as a bonus action, for example. You can wear no armor, be an armored guy, and have very high armor class. That's like most common multi-class. But there's one problem. Druid, every druid, no matter what druid you pick, is scaling with druid levels, not with character level, but druid levels. And kinda same story with the monk. If you're not going too hard into the monk, you will have low key points, you will have very weak unarmed attacks. So while it sounds fun and cool, actually you will have very weak monk and very weak druid if you're going into this type of multi-class. So what is most important druid problems? First of all, it's poor AC, poor armor class, because druid relied too much on his abilities. He need high wisdom, and at the same time he need high dexterity to get this armor class. And at the same time he need high constitution. Why constitution? Because druids specialize on a lot of very powerful concentration spells, and concentration spells require you high constitution to keep this concentration going. So next problem, if you want to multi-class with druid, is druid scaling with level, as I already told you. So if you go in with low druid levels, you will get very weak special powers like spores and other stuff from druid. And last problem is action economy. Druid already got different options for every action he can take. For action, bonus action, reaction, everything is kinda laid out. And I found solution how to check every problem we have as druid and make most broken druid possible. So, what we want to do when we're creating druid, we want to create fighter. So why we're going with fighter? Because when you're creating your first class, not only you getting some proficiency and other stuff, most importantly you getting proficiency in saving throws. So for druid it will be wisdom and intelligence. You can't find it anywhere, you need to hover mouse over here and you will see +2 from proficiency, from intelligence and from wisdom. Or 4 wisdom, I guess. And as you know, to keep concentration going on, you need constitution saving throws. So, to check this out, you're basically picking fighter as your main class. As fighter, you will get proficiency with heavy armor. And that means we can dump dex completely, we can get super high constitution, we can get super high wisdom, and we can get a lot of strength to get our attacks a lot more stronger. So, about dexterity, you can stick with around 10 dexterity, just for initiative. So last start could be whatever you like, you can go 10 into intelligence or 10 into charisma. So our skills, it will be perception and acrobatics. Fighting style, if you want most like balanced class, go with defense, but for my build I will pick 2 weapon fighting. So let's go and I show you this beast in action. To make this druid completely working, I separated this build into parts. First one is first 2 acts. Because late game items is just too strong and they will completely change our build a little bit. And I won't show and tell you exactly how to get all of these items, but there will be text on the screen where you can find them by yourself. So basically just go in this place and go check out for this item. Almost all items is kinda bought from vendors, so it's not like hard to get item. But they're making broken combination for our Spore Druid. So let's make build for like early levels. So from second level you're going into Druid finally. Your early game cantrips can be wherever you like. We don't need Shillelagh with this druid. We pick Turn Whip and Poison Spray if you want to keep this spore stuff, you know, poison, acid dude. Or just pick Guidance, is a very good cantrip if you don't have Cleric in your party. So for early game spells, good, very nice healing stuff. Long Strider to have additional movement speed, you will need it. Fairy Fire, your concentration spell, and Healing Word to heal yourself and your party members, or wherever you like, it doesn't matter too much. So, second level of Druid, character level 3. Now you're finally picking your multi-class, you're going in Circle of the Spores, of course. So while we get in this wild shape, we don't care, because we will use our wild shape charges on symbiotic entity, and that's like most important stuff for Spore Druid. You're gaining temporary hit points and dealing additional damage while you have them. And you can cast Hull of Spores with a reaction instead of any other type of action, and it will do double damage when this stuff is active. So you're doing a lot of damage on level 3, but only when you have these 8 temporary hit points. So that's most important Spore Druid problem. How to keep this health point. Okay, I got it solved for you guys. I got it solved for most broken stuff. We got cantrip Bone Chill, very nice cantrip. So let's continue. Third level, you're getting some additional spells from level 2. Most of the time we're picking something like Spike Growth and Hold Person, sometimes Flaming Sphere is nice. And on level 5 we getting some cantrips, some spells, most importantly we're getting feat. And for our feat, for this build especially, we're going with Dual Wielder. Dual Wielder, just like that. So this feat will give us +1 to armored class, while we get 2 weapons into hands, and we can wield any weapon we like in our hands basically. So, this pretty early game druid, and you're already around these levels, around level 6, you can get almost all of this build. So let's talk about items. So let's talk about gameplay first a little bit. You start with the casting symbiotic entity on yourself, it will use your wild shape charge, and you get 16 health points additional on this level. So you can probably lose them. While you're not losing them, you can cast this Hull of Spores with double damage, so there's like nice spell, because it's casted with reaction instead of bonus action instead of action, and this means you can use your action and bonus action to make attacks with your hand and offhand weapon. And most of the time on first turn you will cast something like Spike Growth or Fairy Fire. Fairy Fire will give you advantage on attack rolls against enemies, and this will make enemies harder to go on this terrain, for example. So let me go on this terrain and I will explain you this stuff. So as you can see, we failed concentration saving throw. How is this working? Basically, when you're getting damaged while you're keeping concentration on spell, you need to succeed difficulty class 10 constitution saving throw. So if you roll 1 like this, you will always fail, but when you roll anything but 1, you will get your dice roll result from 1 to 20, plus your proficiency, it depends on level. On first levels it's 2, from level 5 it's 3, and on level 12 or level 10 already it's 4. And from your constitution modifier, of course. So right now we got +3, it means we got +6. So we need to roll at least 4 to succeed this constitution saving throw. And this build that you can occur around these levels, around level 5, 6, 7, will make you broken already. So, Dark Justiciar Helmet. You can find it in Library Trial, in Temple of Shar Act 2. Most importantly, it given you Constitution saving throw +1. So that's already making almost impossible for us to break concentration. Because instead of +6 we will get +7. This means only 1, 2 and 3 results on the dice will break our concentration. Next up, Cloak. Again, you can get it from Act 2 in Mausoleum. And you will gain 7 temporary hit points after casting spell while in melee. So what does this mean? While you can get temporary hit points only from one source, actually this symbiotic entity will work like this. After you lost any temporary hit points from this, you will regain them. You will regain maximum of the provided hit points with any stuff that will gain temporary hit points for you. So you got hit, just go in melee range, and you will be in melee range most of the time. Cast any spell, and you will cast spells most of the time. And you will regain these hit points, so you can continue using your reaction to cast double Halo of Spores. So why we picked Fighter again? To get access to this heavy armor. This heavy armor will increase our constitution to +2 at this point. And already we're getting 19 armor class. This is pretty high AC, and if you go with defense style, you will get 20 AC, and with shield you will get 22 AC at this level. That's just incredible AC if you want it. But I like this style with heavy armor and two-handed weapons. So, because we're getting +2 constitution from this armor, we can lower this concentration by 1. So at this point, when we get this armor, we're already losing concentration only when we're rolling 1 or 2. That's just insane. So concentration going for whole fight. You can get it from basically any trader, you just need to find this armor. Or if you can't find exactly this armor in traders, just buy any heavy armor. Any heavy armor will work, you just need as much AC as possible. So next up, Dark Justiciar Countless. This will be around your gear area in Temple of Shar in Act 2, and your weapon attacks deal additional 1d4 necrotic damage. We continue our theme with necrotic damage Spore Druid, so that's crazy cool, I think. So boots, we're going with Vital Conduit Boots. When we cast spell that require concentration and we cast the spells a lot, we're gaining 8 temporary hit points. Again, that's one more ability to regain these hit points and keep our symbiotic entity going. And next, we finishing our build with awesome combination. So, Brood Mother's Revenge, awesome amulet that you can get from Act 1, and all you need to do is to kill Kaga. How you will do it, wherever you like actually, but if you do it, you will get this amulet that will coat your weapon, and your weapon start to do 1d6 poison damage, and it will coat it whenever you heal. Next up, Caustic Band. This is again can be in Act 1.5, in Underdark, in Myconid Colony from the trader. Pretty easy to get, just additional acid damage to your weapon attacks. And last ring from Act 3. It's from pretty beginning of the third act, so you can get it really easily. This will wrap up our build, but you can get away actually without this ring too, you can play without it. So build works without it too. And you just need any 2 weapons you like. War Pick, looking crazy cool. That's why I like the Spore Druid with double War Pick, or with any weapon you will see that got best enchantment you can find. Best enchantment will work. So just look at this. Our weapon already, while we kinda doing nothing, doing 1d8 plus our strength modifier plus weapon enchantment plus 2 acid from the ring plus 1d6 from symbiotic entity plus 1d4 from like whatever we got over here from these gloves. And just when we using health potion with bonus action, for example, our weapons and 2 weapons being coated in poison. So just like that, we're doing additional 1d4 damage just right now. So whenever you heal yourself, even this potion, you will do additional damage from this stuff. How you play this druid in early levels? Let me show you. So basically you make sure symbiotic entity is running. Then basically you can go and use your double attacks on your enemies. And already this druid doing a large amount of damage. So if you want to make it harder for your enemies, you can cast some concentration spells like Spike Growth or Fairy Fire. It will use your action, but again, problem from Druid, he don't have a lot of bonus actions to use. And we cover this with offhand melee attack. So with Dual Wielder, we're adding our proficiency bonuses to this attack, so we're doing crazy amount of damage with every hand. And we basically, in some fights, can use concentration spells. In some fights, you can just ignore it and use normal and offhand attack. Additionally, if you ban healed, don't forget you will coat your weapon in poison, and to do it easily, you basically throw your health potions from your teammates to yourself. So we healed and we got this coating effect on both of our weapons, and already on level 5 we're doing 10 to 28 damage with one weapon and with second weapon too. So look at this damage, it's just insane. It's just, I don't know, it's just large amount of numbers. So as you can see, just 2 attacks, crazy numbers. So we're doing like 1d8 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1d4 plus 2, and I guess this 1d4 should be 1d6. If it's written correctly, it should be 1d6. And we're doing additional 1d6 necrotic from symbiotic entity and additional 1d4 from umbral attack. So just like that, we're doing just crazy amounts of damage, and we can use this hail of spores as a reaction at the same turn to basically just destroy our enemies. So that's just crazy. That's crazy. Crazy amounts of damage, just really destroying everything Druid. So how build will go later. So level 6, our level 5 Druid, finally we're getting animate death. So from this level we're becoming kinda necromancer. Spells of choice will be like protection from energy and cold lighting. So already on this level, on level 6, you can basically animate corpses to make zombie army for yourself, so you can play with your zombies. You can pick up these corpses to your loot and carry them with you, so you will have always one corpse in the inventory and then just, drop it if you don't need it in a pocket, just like that. Your concentration spells and action economy. So you will use spike growth if you need this hard terrain for your enemies, or you can use Cold Lighting right now. Cold Lighting is AoE spell, and basically you're casting it, it's doing large amount of damage, and you will have this activate Cold Lighting again while you keep in concentration. So you can attack with your offhand weapon, and while keeping concentration, use your action to do Cold Lighting. So basically you're doing Cold Lighting, attacking with offhand weapon with crazy damage, 9 to 24 uncoated. Attack with your zombie at the same turn, and attack with hail of spores at the same turn. And while you're doing this in melee range, you will regain hit points because you got this vivacious cloak. So that's just crazy broken level 6 Druid. But that's not over. So level 7, we get this fungal infestation. Now you can make even more zombies, and this will be your fungal friends, some mushroom zombies. Playstyle is kinda the same. Level 7 of Druid give you access to level 4 spells, and you can go full summoner. Full summoner working really nice. And full summoner will go with Conjure Minor Elemental and Conjure Woodland Being. But we pick Woodland Being anyway, because Woodland Being will give us effect of freedom of movement. So while we keeping ourselves nearby Woodland Being, we're keeping this freedom of movement effect, so that's nice summon. And for concentration spell on this level, I recommend going with Grasping Wine, just to keep our zim of this like Spore Druid, Mother Nature, other stuff. Or you can go with Wall of Fire, just a good spell. Or even Polymorph, whatever. So next up, we're getting feat finally. So our feat will be increasing our wisdom. So wisdom will increase our spell difficulty class, so it will be harder for enemies to break our spells. That's like nice idea to have. And that's why we don't need any Warcaster and other stuff, because our Constitution saving throws is almost impossible to beat. It's already around 90-95% success rate to keep our concentration whenever we're damaged. And if you want 99% to keep your concentration, you don't want it, actually 95 is already nice, you go with Warcaster, but I like Wisdom more. So next up, level 9 Druid, and again you can go full Summoner with Conjure Elemental. I don't like it, because we got awesome Cloud Kill. That's just insane. That's where our Druid becoming super crazy, broken, just impossible to beat, crazy dude. So we basically don't need spells level 5, and around this level you can get already full build, or you can get at least this ring anyway. So this ring anyway you can get. So what's the ring doing? Basically it's healing you at the start of your turn. What does it mean? Every turn, at the start of your turn, what's happening? You're getting this coating effect. So basically you start a fight and you get your double weapons coated in this Brute Mother's Revenge, and that's crazy. That's just insane amounts of damage from pure this stuff. So I've just forgot about cool stuff that you can go with. On second act you can get this Dark Fire short bow, and you can use it two ways. First of all, it's giving you resistance to fire and cold resistance. You will get this cast spell and you can concentrate on the spell too, and this will give you additional action. So what additional action given to you? You basically can cast some cantrips, cast some spells, attack with your weapon, and basically make around 3 attacks with your weapons. 1 with your offhand and 2 with your main hand attacks. While this on you, until you just go with the zombies, attack everyone, something like this. And there's another gloves that you can get a little bit earlier than these Dark Justiciar gauntlets. It's Float Helldust gloves, so you can get this from Trader Daemon in Act 2 in Last Light Inn, but you need to complete quests with Infernal Iron. You will get different armor pieces from this Trader if you complete his Infernal Iron quest, and this is like third option you will get. And we're finishing our build. Level 10 Druid. We always want to have level 10 when we play in Spore Druid. That's why going not full into Druid is very, very not cool. Because on level 10 you get these spreading spores and you can use bonus action to cast the spreading spore cloud. And this inflicts additional damage to enemies. They will stuck in the place. Really crazy stuff, really crazy cool stuff. I will show you just in a second. We got some cantrips, so we'll pick wherever you like. We're finishing our build on level 11 Druid, and on level 11 we get access to this level 5 spells. Level 5 spells is not bad. We definitely want to pick Sunbeam. We definitely want to pick Wall of Thorns. And that will finish our build. So only on last levels you can start spreading spores with this stuff. So while we have this symbiotic entity, and as you can see with high levels we gain 44 temporary hit points. That's pretty big number. Our Hail of Spores starting doing 1d8 damage, so it's 2d8 damage instead. And Spreading Spores doing 2d8 damage too. You're making this area of spores, it will damage enemies, and it won't damage you or your allies. And you and your allies will be really funny in the spores. And this requires bonus action. So only on last levels of your gameplay, from this like berserker who going with double pike and destroying everyone with crazy amounts of damage, Spore Druid becoming this magic caster. So just before we're playing him as this like crazy dude, every time you're healing, you get this coating on your weapons doing crazy damage with your two-hand attacks. Whenever you kill anyone, you basically use reaction to make this mini like mushroom zombies, and you use animated death to make normal zombies. You go with your zombie army, you can use Woodland Being, this very cool dude, this druid, giving ability to go on the hard terrain, and she can create hard terrain by herself, and she can create her summon, Fallen Lover, so you can create this summon too. And basically you have your like mini micro army that can entangle enemies, do some stuff, and you can just basically go and attack with your double pike, be like cool berserker Spore Druid. So on last levels we don't need these weapons attack. We just don't need them, because we already got awesome and crazy damage abilities. So what we need to do on last levels, we need to change our build. And I got this awesome armor of Spore Keeper. You can find it in Act 3 in Fieldgrave Mansion from Trader Mystic Carrion. So what this armor doing? It's giving you new spells, basically new spells. Instead of only spreading spores, you will get this Vibrating Spores, T-Mask Spores, and Haste Spores. I will show you them in a second. So we don't need this dual wield stuff right now, and we can get like good stuff instead, quarter stuff. And you can get this from the same place where you buy this Ring of Regeneration. So this stuff give you additional bonus to spell difficulty class, so you can cast them a lot more, so they will work a lot more. And awesome ability, Arcane Battery, so it will give you ability to cast spells without expanding spell slot. That's very nice. So because you have a weapon in one hand, you can go with shield in another hand, pick whatever shield you like. So any shield with +3 to armor will work. Just buy it from Trader, or you can get this shield from Wyconia herself. So information on the screen. And if you're keeping your dual wield trait, you can go with second staff in the same place where you get this again. Information on the screen. So you can get these two staffs in two hands. It will give you additional spell difficulty class. Most importantly, because we don't need this weapon coating, so we can actually remove this amulet. We can pick any amulet we like. We can remove this ring. We can pick any ring we like. It doesn't matter. We keep in ring of regeneration, why not? And we don't need these gloves. These gloves coating our weapon for additional damage. We're not doing damage weapon at this point of the game with Druid. Instead, we're picking some of these gloves. And these gloves can be bought on Act 1.5, so you need to buy them just before you need to use them. You can use it on other characters, and what we have here, one giving you additional bonus to spell attack rolls, you don't need it, but our range attacks will be made as melee spell attacks when we are adjected to hostile creature, and basically this will give us ability to cast some cool spells and mostly cantrips, and this is really strong cantrips, while being adjected to the creatures. Our Vivacious Cloak will still give us additional temporary hit points. Or what I suggest to do is to go with Gloves of Dexterity over here right now, and this will give us flat 18 Dexterity. So why are we doing this? Because this awesome armor is light armor. So what's going on right now? Right now we don't need any proficiency in armor, so on our finished level we can go and respec our character. But just before doing this, I want to show you this amulet that you want to find, and this will be Act 3 again. Again, information on the screen, there's cool quest. If you get this amulet, your constitution will become 23. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Let me show you spike growth. So we just casted it, and we can't break our concentration. Our concentration is basically can't be broken. It just can't be broken. It's insane. Additionally, our symbiotic entity is running out. We're losing our temporary hit points. That's not a problem. So without using spell slot, we can cast this Cloud Kill, for example, upcast it to level 6 as level 6 spell. We create this stuff and we regained our health points. On next turn, we can use it one more time, just like that. And our health points again at maximum. So we are invincible, basically. And you may say, like, what you will do with your bonus action? And I got solution. From this awesome stuff, we got this Biberbank spores. The spores will make noxious fumes for a few turns. We make these T-Mask spores that will make befuddle on enemies. But we got these Haste spores. So we will use our bonus action to cast Haste on ourselves. This will give us 2 actions in 1 turn. And just like that, without using any spell slots of level 6, we can cast concentration spells 2 times every turn, or use our attacks, or use our Hail of Spores for bonus damage, or use our cantrips for more damage, just like that. So you can cast Cloud Kill every turn, but you get this Call of Lightning, for example. Just upcast it to level 6, just like that. And again, your next turn, you just enter this Haste Spores, you will get this bonus action, and now you can use your Activate Call Lightning 1 time, you can do it 1 more time. Now you can use your reaction to use Call of Spores, or use bonus action to heal yourself or your teammates, wherever you like actually. But most of the time you will use a bonus action to reposition this Spore Cloud, just like that. And because you can't lose your concentration, without expanding spell slot, basically you can cast this Call Lightning 20 times before it went off. Then you can cast it again. So you can cast 40 level 6 spells basically once per long rest. Isn't that broken? And yeah, kinda same is Sunbeam working, kinda same way. So you can cast it right now and you can do it again, basically again for whatever turns you get. So level 6 spell 40 times in 1 day, incredible stuff. Yeah, from this stuff you will get Kireshka Favor, so you can cast this spell on yourself, so you get additional damage. So let's just make resistance to lighting, for example. And for spells I recommend to keep in protection from poison, it's only level 2 spell slot. So just like that we're getting resistance to almost every damage type we can possibly have. I mean, like, yeah guys, it's like most broken class in the game, and most fun to play, I guess. It's very fun to play actually. And all of this with your nice mushroom zombie army. So your fight could look something like this on later stages of the game. You can start with basically chain lighting if you got this Kureshka favor for lighting defense, just like that, destroy almost everyone, then basically cast Hasta Spores on yourself, and you will get this bonus action with, bonus normal action, so go with Cloud Kill on your enemies, just like that. Wait for next turn. They will try to run away if they're smart. Then basically go with your zombie army and create more zombies. And on the next turn, basically you can go and reposition your Poison Cloud to make even more damage on your enemies, and you can add your Spreading Spores to do more damage on your enemies while they're standing over here. And of course you still got your reaction, so you can use Hollow Spores for double damage and basically inflict even more damage. And at the same time your concentration can't be broken. Very high AC, so enemies will miss you. And coolest part, this Spreading Spores not affecting your army, so you can basically cast it on them. So coolest part, you know that zombies is pretty weak, mostly because they can attack only once. I mean, it's like a weak part of the zombies, and Spore Druid zombies is really weak. But when you cast these Hostile Spores on all your zombie army, you will get this awesome ability to attack twice. So just like that, your zombies will get double attacks too, and all your zombie army can basically destroy whole towns. You just need to re-enter these spores, they will stay for a few turns, and you regain your Hasta, and all your party will regain Hasta basically. That's crazy. So again, bonus action, just cast it on yourself. You have invincibility to the Spreading Spores. So last optimization. As I told you, when we hit in last level, when we get in this awesome amulet, when we get in this awesome armor, we don't need this heavy armor proficiency no more. We basically don't need it. So what we can do? On last level we're respecing one more time. And basically you're respecing into fighter, you don't need two-weapon fighter right now. So you can go to defense. And we got dexterity and constitution from gloves and amulet. So instead we're maxing out our wisdom, some intelligence, some charisma and strength, just to have ability to jump, push enemies away, shove them into spores, wherever you like to do. And maybe sometime hit them with this stuff. And basically max out and finish with Druid. You will get access to new feats. So we don't need dual wielder right now, and instead we're going into ability improvement, we're maxing our wisdom. On next feat we're maxing out our wisdom finally to 20, and just like that, your build is finished. So in the end, we got 16 strength, 18 dexterity, 23 constitution, 12 intelligence, 20 wisdom, 14 charisma, resistance to all types of damage, 21 armor class. We can cast 40 level 6 spells in one day, create our army of zombies, and basically do whatever we like, because we are broken Spore Druid. And you regain your Hasta, and all your party will regain Hasta basically. So guys, what do you think about this druid? I think it's amazing, and you will have a lot of fun if you will try to go for this build in your playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. Watch other cool videos on the screen right now, and see you in next videos.